Hello and welcome to my very hot summer. I can see a white butterfly. I literally pulled out all of my cabbages the other day because there were white butterflies, and well, there was one white butterfly. Now I can see 3, 4, 5. They are a menace to my lettuces. Maybe I stop growing. No, I'm not stopping growing lettuces, but there aren't any more brassicas in the garden because I do not want to encourage the white butterflies any more than I have been. Anyway, so I have been learning to crochet. I went to crochet classes in the middle of the year, and I was a girly swat. I'd like to say I got top of the class in crochet, even though there was no top of the class. I just gave that to myself. I have been watching Young Sheldon and realizing that years ago, when the Big Bang Theory first came out, I had this saying where it was like Sheldon Cooper stole my life, because he had the same bath curtain as me and the same clothing. However, it turns out that I very much have Sheldon Cooper's attitude sometimes, so my apologies. Anyway, I've started to learn to crochet, and the reason I started to learn to crochet is on YouTube there's a fantastic woman, Kylie, from Complicated Knots. She does the most exquisite amigurumi patterns, and I am such a fan, like just such a fan. So much so that I went to crochet classes and I learned to crochet. And this year, last year it was 12 days of crochet. This year it was 7 days of crochet with a theme, and they're all South American animals. And these pushed me to my crochet limit, but I had an absolute blast. Did I have tears? Yes, I did. And I'll explain as we go along. So we start with, first of all, this is a capybara, and he is very cute and he is very adorable. I managed to complete the capybara before getting out of bed on the morning that the 7 days of crochet were released. Why is my capybara this boring brown colour? You ask, when capybaras are not a boring brown colour. Because this yarn was sitting next to my bed. It was left over from the baby blanket I'd been knitting. So I literally just picked it up and started crocheting along. It still took me about an hour when it should have been more like half an hour. But I was very excited to finish the capybara, and that was the end of day 1. Day 2, oh, which one was day 2? I think the macaw was day 2. Now, the macaw did challenge me. His feet, I do not think I have completely right. They are definitely lopsided, but I don't care. I think he's still beautiful. I don't think I got the beak right. I mean, I followed the pattern for the beak, but I was stitching it on. I think that's where I got a bit lost, because there's like a curve in the beak there at the bottom, but mine sits too low, so I think I might have stitched on upside down. Anything's possible. However, I didn't have blue yarn out of my yarn drawer with me. I just used green instead of the blue that's meant to be blue on his little tippy toes, or little tippy wings. But he took me most of a Sunday morning, so I was still feeling fairly confident after the first 2. The third one was the piranha, and the piranha did nearly kill me, because what I wasn't anticipating as he was being crocheted is that the last thing that happens is basically pulling him in for his tail. So he gets really, really wide and really, really odd shaped, and then all of a sudden comes in at the tail, like to actually just close it shut, basically. So the piranha took far too long, but I think I was still relatively on time by the time the piranha came out. Putting my life on hold. What was week 4? The iguana? Now, the iguana did take me so long. I have not got his upper spikes correct. But I do think that, if it will focus, he's got the curve in his body. He's got the little face going on. Like, I've done well with him. His little paws and his little toes are the cutest little things in the world. But the iguana took a really long time. So long that I didn't think I was going to be able to continue. Number 4? Or was it 5? I can't remember which anymore, but the tapir, he turned out to be relatively easy. So I was impressed that I got to the end of the tapir, and not only had I finished him with the right number of stitches, following all the instructions, he worked out. I felt so confident within myself when I finished my tapir. Like, so proud. Never been more proud of anything in my life. The tiny primate pangolin monkey, I have a problem with primates. I am scared of primates. I'm so scared of primates, it's not funny. So this guy, I found out when I paid more attention afterwards, his tail's supposed to go around his body, but I did not want to cover his little tobies. Look at his little toes. Honestly, he's so cute. I didn't have a wire brush to brush out his moustache, but there he is. He's very sweet. And then the final day of the 7 days of crochet, if this had been day 1, I would have been out. The tarantula. I am not a fan of creepy crawlies at all. I should probably starch these leggies out. It also didn't help that Kylie said this is the hardest pattern that she's ever created, and she was not wrong. We'll go with that much. She was not wrong. The good news is that his orange butt is orange. That meant that I was actually going to complete it because I like orange. The top of his back is a cute little blue colour. He only got 2 eyes because there was no freaking way I was giving him any more than 2 eyes. And her instructions did make it possible to complete the legs. Am I going to ever make a tarantula ever again? I say no. However, I know damn well I probably will make one more. Because I know someone who is going to think he's the cutest thing in the world, and if I could do one with a purple butt, that would make them very, very happy, to match his scorpion. So I might make one more, but yeah. So I finished Complicated Knots' 7 Days of Crochet 2023, and I now have this handful of tiny amigurumi babies, which I am so proud of. I am so unbelievably proud of them. I have not been so proud of so many things in so long. This guy here deserves an entire feathery family. And look at his little tail. Like, I do not think I got this pattern completely correct, but the wings, oh my God. Simply because of the wings, I carried on and got this guy done, and I am so proud of him. I just want to string him up and hang him from the Christmas tree. I did think that could be what I do with all of them, put a string on them and they become Christmas decorations, but I don't know. For the moment, they just sit on my windowsill looking adorable and reminding me of how awesome I am, that I am a crochet. I crochet now. I crochet things. So thank you, Kylie from Complicated Knots. Everything you do is so incredible and so inspirational that I can't help but wanting to be you. So, do I think you should learn to crochet? Yes. Yes, you should. I think it's Elise Myers came out and started crocheting not long after I started crocheting, and she said don't start with granny squares because basically you finish one granny square and you need to then make 111 more granny squares so that you've got a blanket out of it. It'll get boring. But start with amigurumi. I started with granny squares because I went to a class, but I was determined, as the nerd that I am, to be top of crochet class, even though it wasn't a competition. I made it a competition. So in the middle of the year I learned to crochet, and at the end of the year I now have 7 of these little guys, and I am very, very proud. My next plan is to find a crochet axolotl pattern and crochet an axolotl for my nephew, because it seems to be that axolotls is where it's at right now. So like, comment, subscribe. Definitely pop over and see the originals, because Kylie's ones at Complicated Knots are so stunning. And if she has the time and the energy to do 7 days of crochet in 2024, you can 100% guarantee I will be there with bells on, and I will crochet up a little storm, even though it's so hard for me. I still enjoy it. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. I enjoy responding to your comments, and I will see you next week. Bye.